All right, we're going to talk about estimations, graphs, and mathematical models today. So when we're talking about estimates, a lot of times what we're going to be talking about is rounding. So when you're rounding, I know that this is kind of a review for most of you. We want to look at the digit we're rounding, and then we want to look at the number to the right of it. If the number to the right is 5 or greater, we're going to add 1 to the digit we're rounding and replace all the other numbers by 0. If the digit is less than 5, do nothing to the digit you're rounding and replace all the other digits to the right with zeros. So here's our example of our number here, and we're going to start by rounding to the millionth, which is that 8 right there. So I'm going to immediately look to the number to the right. It's a 7. 7 is greater than or equal to 5, so we're going to round this number up. So I'm going to take and go 7, 0, 5. Now I'm going to change this 8 to be a 9, and I'm going to replace all the other numbers with zeros. And there's my round to the nearest millionth. If I want to round to the nearest hundred thousands, here's my hundred thousands. I'm going to look at the number to the right of it. It's a 4. 4 is less than 5, so I'm not going to change the 7. So I go 7, 0, 5, 8, 7. And now I'm going to replace all the other numbers with zeros. Okay? So we're still going to do that with decimals, but a lot of times with decimals, we don't have to add in the zeros. Okay? So we're just going to get rid of the last part of the decimal. The biggest thing with decimals is remember where those places are. Tenth, hundredth, thousandths. Okay? So this one says round in the nearest hundredth. So the 4 is my hundredth place. So I'm going to look here to the 1. 1 is less than 5, so I'm not going to change that 4. I'm not going to add 1 to it. This becomes 3.14. I don't have to put zeros in there. If you do, it's not the end of the world. So now we're going to round to the nearest thousandths, which is the 1. I look to the number to the right of it. It's a 5. That's 5 or greater, so I'm going to add 1 to the 1. So 3.142. Okay. A lot of times when we're talking about estimating, we're going to talk about rounding too. So if here's when I went to the store and I bought all this stuff, if I want to get an estimate of how much it's going to cost to buy this, if I know these are the prices, I can go ahead and estimate that. If I want to know how many dollars I'm spending, what I'm going to do is I'm going to round these to the nearest dollar. So I'm going to take here and I'm going to round to the nearest dollar. So $2.59. I look at the 5 here. It's 5 or greater, so I'm going to round that up to $3. Detergent, $2.17. The 1 is less than 5, so I'm going to keep it at $2. $3.65. I'm going to take the 6, I'm going to round it up, so this becomes $4. Now this one's a little unique because this is less than $1. So I have 47 cents. I don't really care about the 7. I don't care that it's close to 50 cents. I only look at the 4. So 4 is less than 5. So I keep this number the same here and replace all the others with 0. So this ends up becoming $0. That's my round for that. So the last one is $5.79. This is going to round up to $6. And now this makes it a fairly straight process of adding these together. 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 0 is 9, 9 plus 6 is $15. You would expect to spend an estimate on all this stuff is $15. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is kind of getting information from graphs and then coming up with a model and estimating from that. So these are the tuition costs for a state university from 2000 to 2010. And we want to estimate the yearly increase in tuition, and we want to round that to the nearest dollar. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our last input value, 2010, and that amount of 7,020, and we're going to find the difference between these. 7,020 minus 3,362 over 2010 minus 2,000. Now, a lot of you are probably looking at that and going, oh, that's the slope formula. And that's true. We're not we're not worried so much about 1 year there's a great increase and then a small increase. We're looking at how did I get from this point to this point? What is my average daily cost here? And so when I subtract those out, I end up with 3,658 over 10, or 365.8. Okay? Now it says round to the nearest dollar. So I have 80 cents. I'm going to take that, round that up to 366. Okay? So now it says write a model that estimates tuition cost. Okay? So each year after 2000, I'm going to add 366, and that would get me to 2010 value. So this becomes 366x, where x is years after 2000, right? So how many years are after 2000? I don't want to put in 2000 here, or 2015 or something like that. And then where did I start at? What value did I start from? Well, I started from year 2000, so I need to add in my original tuition cost. And so this is going to be my mathematical model there. Y equals 366x plus 3,362. And that will get me close to that 2010. Obviously, it's not going to be exact because we did round here. But what would your estimate be for the year 2020? Okay, so what we did is remember, x is the years after 2000. So I'm not going to put in 2020 in for x. I'm actually going to put in 20. Okay, so y equals 366 times 20 plus 3362. Okay. So now we got to do our multiplication here. 0, 2, plus 3,362. I'm going to add these together. 2, 8, 6, 10,682. So we would expect our estimate for what this school would cost tuition-wise at 2020 would be 10,682. So that's using estimates, rounding, and models to estimate for the future.